Yo guys, it's Slinxy and this is my 1 year keyboard and mouse progression video. Let's jump into it. And before we jump into it, actually, don't ask questions about my hair. It gets cut in less than a week now, so it shouldn't be long until it's looking a bit better. But yeah, let's start off with day one. So day one, I had no idea what I was doing. I couldn't crank, I couldn't even do a single 90. I was really annoyed, but I was also quite confident, and I wanted to see how much I could improve within the first week. Day two, I was actually getting somewhere. I could do a 90 and then a ramp and then another 90. I'd done that a couple of times, but it didn't go further than that, and then let's move on to day three. Day 3, I ran into the problem of me placing a floor above my head because I was looking too high and I needed to look further down, but I didn't know that yet, and I kept making this mistake for a few days. Day 4, I discovered the power of editing on keyboard and mouse. I immediately realized how easy it was to edit, and it was so much faster and so much easier with the mouse and with the little joystick on the controller. Day 5, I tried ramping with the ramps, the floors, the walls and everything. I tried doing that, and initially it didn't go too well, but I started getting there at the end. And by the way, on these days I was not grinding. I could have gone on hours and hours and grinded them, all this in probably a day, but I didn't have the time for that, and I wasn't really motivated and I didn't want to burn out too easily. So I took small little chunks and done that through the week. Day 6, I decided to jump into box fights, which was a huge mistake. I shouldn't have jumped into box fights. I wasn't ready, and it showed in the gameplay, but I don't know, was it the right call? I don't know. I did play terribly. I actually killed my brother a few times. My brother, no offense, he's not the best, but I wanted to play him because he's probably a close skill level that I was at the time. And then day 7 was the day I recorded the video. I cranked, I done the floor push, I done an edit course, I done all sorts of stuff. I think I played Team Rumble as well, actually. After my first week, I then decided to make this montage. Let's just show a clip from that, shall we? One, I was terrible at editing, and 2, I was terrible in keyboard and mouse. Not long after, I soon upgraded to my first keyboard, my proper keyboard, a mechanical keyboard. I got the SteelSeries Apex 7 with blue clicky switches. Then going on to my first month, I decided to jump into some pub games and see how I would play in there, but because of my PC, I didn't have the best PC back then. I've upgraded it since, but my frames and everything wasn't really helping me. Sorry about that, my power just went out for a few minutes, but I think we're back. My PC was not helping me though, as back then I didn't have a great PC. I've upgraded it since. I got parts this Christmas, and back then I had lots of frame stutters, and I was just not very happy, and it was just not helping my gameplay at all. Going on to 2 months, I made a montage. The gameplay's going up, but not by too much. Still far away from good, but we're getting there. 3 months, I made another montage. I was actually quite happy with this montage when it came out. It was Foo Fighters, Pretender, and the editing is taking a step up, but the gameplay not so much. Back then, I actually had a crazy sense. I was 10% X and Y, and then had a 2000 DPI. Now I'm at 800 DPI and 6.5 X and Y sense. Right here, watching the video back, man, I'm just shouting in my intro. There's no conversation, there's no realistic talking, it's me shouting into the mic. But anyway, I decided to play 5 months, and I think it was, or something like that. So 5 months, I think this is, August 7th, 2020. I decided to play my first cash cup, my first competitive game mode. It was solos. I played terrible, but I just needed to get the confidence up and get that game sense up as well, and just keep improving. I then decided to upgrade my mouse to the Logitech G Pro Wireless, which I'm still using, as well as the Apex 7. These two upgrades have been definitely worth the money. I recommend you invest into a good keyboard and mouse. It'll take your gameplay to the next level. And later on, recently I upgraded my mouse pad as well, which we'll get into later. Then there's a big gap into 9 months that I made an update on my keyboard and mouse journey. In my 9 months, I've definitely improved a lot. There's a big gap there, but I did upload some highlight videos in between there that you can see quite a bit of improvement. But this 9 month, this is where it started picking up and I started getting quite good. Then I started making some keyboard ASMR videos that actually done really well, and my first one is actually currently on 14,000 views, which is by far my most viewed video. I made 2 other keyboard ASMR videos, one's on 1k and the other's on 1.7k, so I'm definitely going to keep doing them in the future. If you are one of them people that came from those videos, thank you so much for the support. But then anyway, I got a mouse pad, which I uploaded not long ago, 3 weeks ago actually, and it was a big improvement to my aim. It helped a ton with tracking, flick shots, everything, and that's definitely picked up my aim. In that year, I had motivation at the start, and then it kind of died off in the middle, and then I stopped kind of getting good. But then as the motivation built up, I started getting much better again, and then I got here today. I'm still not a good player. I'm probably average comp player, maybe below average even, but I'm not stopping. I'm gonna keep getting better, keep grinding, but I'm focusing on content first. On the YouTube channel, whether that's montages, highlights, content vids, tutorials, unboxings, whatever it is. I'm gonna keep grinding them out, as well as do other stuff. Like I'm doing thumbnails, like for my channel obviously, and then I'm learning Blender right now. I'll throw up a few stuff that I've made, but I'm going to discuss that in probably the next video, which is going to be a video that I'm going to be grinding for Zen for, that kind of overview on who I am and like what I do and stuff like that, and my talents. But yeah, let's jump into some creative maybe arena and see what I can do after 1 year on keyboard and mouse. The biggest struggle for me has been motivation, and keep playing, grinding 24/7, never stopping, you know. It's just not realistic, and you need to take breaks. You need to do other things rather than just sitting creative all day or just sitting grind arena. And right now my biggest struggle is playing as a solo and learning how to fight by myself. I've been playing last season lots of solo arena, and this season at the start, getting my arena points up, it's mainly been solos that I've been playing and just grinding them out, trying to stop relying on my teammates as much, and more kind of trying to become more of an independent player and being able to fight as a solo. Because even on controller back in the season 4 days, even like chapter 1 season 4, I used to play duos. I would never play solos. Me and Ronix back in the days, I wouldn't really play solos because I'd always have someone to play with. And I'm a very social person, and I just don't really like playing solo games. Like I don't play story games just because I get lonely and I get bored. It's just not my kind of thing. And even like playing solos in the Discord call is way more enjoyable for me than sitting in a call by myself, or not in a call at all, and just sitting grinding out solos. It's just not my cup of tea. Something that definitely motivated me to keep playing was playing with my friends and seeing how good they are and how much they're pooing on me, I guess you could say, in game and stuff, and I wanted to be that good, and that kind of motivated me. Like just playing against better people, not only did it motivate me, it also made me become better just playing against them, because you may not notice it at first, but when you're playing against people that are better than you, you're always improving, whether you notice it or not. What was I saying? Yeah, you might not notice it at first, but the more you play against better players, the easier it is to play against average players, because not only do you play... Oh god. kind of lucky there, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, just playing against better players, it makes you play less stupid, and it helps you play. It's hard to describe. I don't really know what I'm talking about, but definitely like joining friend groups and playing against different people at different skill levels definitely improves your gameplay and makes you a better player. And just being in a friend group, especially with people that have good mentalities, will improve your mentality and make you become a better grinder, I guess. Unlucky for me though, half the people in my friend group are quitting. I'm still mates with them obviously, but it's just unfortunate that people are falling out of love with the game. But I guess I'm not fully competitive, they are. I'm more focused on the content side rather than full on grinding competitive. Goblin? I'm dead now, watch. Gotta love the season of spring, man. Like, another big topic of switching from controller to keyboard and mouse is binds, keybinds. Now you can search up how many tutorials, how many tutorial videos you want. There are optimal binds, but there's no perfect set of binds. The reason there's no perfect, one set of binds that works for everyone is because everyone's different. Everyone's description of comfort is different. Not everyone's gonna enjoy the same binds, and that's fine. You just need to make sure you don't even have to have binds that are optimal. There's plenty of pro players, top tier players that don't have binds that have binds that aren't optimal. But a good kind of rule is to have your edit bind on your index fingers, so that's like F, E, whatever, C even, and then have two build binds on your mouse side buttons. I don't follow that rule though. I have my pickaxe on one of mine. Well, let me kill this guy quickly. Oh my god. Like, what? Like, I just love this season, man. Anyway, there aren't a perfect set of binds, but a good rule is to have edit on F or E, or maybe even C. Obviously, like your default movement, not everyone has default movement, but this is like the main kind of guide, I guess you could say. Jump, spacebar, crouch, control, maybe even shift. You want your inventory. Inventory doesn't really matter. I'll throw my binds up on screen now. That's my mouse sensitivity. We'll get into that later. Here are my binds. Oh, and then weapon slots, yeah. Normally people have from 1 to 5 or 1 to 6 or something. Some people have their pickaxe on 1. I'm not a fan, I like it on my mouse. Yeah, but that's my keybinds. These are just like, these things don't really matter. And then sensitivity. There's 3 kind of levels of sensitivity. There's high, there's medium or mid, and then there's low. High sensitivity is good for mechanics like editing and stuff, and then medium is kind of the sweet spot between that and then your aim. Your aim is really crucial. That's why I have quite a low sense, is because I struggle with my aim, but I can kind of flick my arm around to get those edits and stuff done. I'm still not happy. I've been trying to take my sense up and down a bit to try and find the sweet spot, but something to know about changing your sensitivity is the more you change it, the less likely you're gonna master your sense and get good at your sensitivity, because the more you change it, the more you have to relearn it. You have to relearn all the muscle memory, and the longer you stay with a sense, you'll be getting those flick shots better. You'll be able to hit more shots consistently because your muscle memory is trained, and the longer you train it, obviously the more consistent it's going to be. But yeah guys, I think that's it for the video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe. I've been doing quite well on subscribers recently with all these keyboard ASMR videos, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.